Hello, my friends. This is going to be the first of 3 Yankee candle reviews that I am planning to upload to my channel today. For this video, we're going to be talking about Yankee Candle's Balsam and Cedar Fireside. Now, I have made it no secret that the original Balsam and Cedar is not really a fragrance that intrigues me, if I can be honest. It's a little bit too piney for me. But you all know, if you've been with my channel any length of time, you slap the word fireside on any type of fragrance and my ears perk up. I definitely, you will catch my attention by placing that scent description on any candle. And so therefore, when I was scrolling the Yankee Candle site a couple of weeks ago, this one definitely intrigued me. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, give you a little bit of a post-burn experience now that I am at about the halfway point of this candle. So Yankee Candle on their website categorizes this as a woodsy fragrance. The candle that I am reviewing for you guys today also is one of their 2-wick large jar tumblers. This does typically retail for $34.99. You guys know Yankee does tend to run a lot of sales, and truthfully, the reason why I am actually uploading three reviews from Yankee Candle today is because if you caught my video, goodness, probably a couple of weeks ago now, you guys know that I recently hauled 10 Yankee candles, and I would say, I believe 8 of those were all considered new fragrances. So I'm really trying to make sure that I share these thoughts with all of you guys prior to a lot of the Black Friday, pre-Black Friday, after Black Friday, I don't know, whatever sales we're going to get as we head into the holiday season. I thought it would be important to share some thoughts with you in case you are needing a little bit of extra discernment with how to spend your hard-earned money. So let's go ahead and get into the fragrance notes here. In typical Yankee fashion, they like to give us a whole hodgepodge of fragrance notes and let you try to make some determination from there. But yes, Yankee does describe this as a woodsy fragrance. Top notes are listed as crisp citrus, herbs, red berry. Mid notes, pine balsam, cedar, sandalwood. Base note, vanilla, warm amber, smoky embers, and musk. Okay, so what does my nose detect with this one? I am going to tell you guys that when I initially received this haul in, other than my beloved Home for the Holidays, which you guys know is a very nostalgic fragrance to me, this was actually my favorite fragrance from the from all of the candles that I got on Cold Sniff. I really like this one. And to tell you guys, after burning it, I still do enjoy it. Is this a backup worthy fragrance for me? No. My nose definitely detects this as a tree fragrance, but I will say that one of the things that I really appreciate about this is that it has that base note of a vanilla in there. And while it's not like a gourmand vanilla, I do feel like the vanilla note serves the purpose as vanilla does in a lot of these like tree and vanilla fragrances, where it tones down the astringency of like a pine tree fragrance. Like I said, balsam and cedarwood, balsam and cedar, the famous Yankee fragrance, you know, it's been around, I know, since I was a child. That fragrance, like I said, it's a little bit too pungent to my nose. It's leans a little bit cat urine like for me. Again, that's just how my nose detects very, very strong pine fragrances. So I do appreciate that the vanilla in this one tones down some of that pininess. This to me is very much like a sweet balsam type of fragrance. You get a little tiny bit of woodiness in there, but the wood notes that I pick up in here is nowhere near, say, the woodiness that I get, say, from like Kringle Candles Christmas or their Snow-Capped Fraser. That one has definitely a lot more woodiness in it. Times Fraser Fur is definitely a more woody fragrance. This to me, I feel like is definitely more of like a balsam with a little hint of vanilla in there, as well as the base notes there of amber, smoky embers, musk. The musk isn't too perfumey here. Now, I will say, if the fireside note has you thinking like, oh, this is going to be like campfire, super smoky. I'm here to tell you that no, that is not what my nose is detecting at all. I think it lends a little bit of something different to this fragrance. In a weird way, I almost think that those smoky embers and the amber work really nicely with the vanilla note to kind of give a little bit of sweetness that is not gourmand, sugary sweetness. It's very nice. I do like this fragrance. Now, do I feel like this is as well executed conceptually as, say, some brands like let's just compare to Kringle, you know, which is Kringle has their roots in Yankee. No, I don't feel like this is executed as well in terms of it being a truly conceptual, beautiful fragrance. I did mention in my candle chat video yesterday that I think while I like these fragrances from Yankee, I like, there's only one that I'm just kind of like, I don't really like that, and I'm probably going to declutter. These fragrances so far that I have tried from Yankee, I like them, but they just don't really seem super unique and backup worthy to me. Maybe it is because I am used to some fragrance houses, like I said, Kringle, Caramel Sundays, even Homeworks. I would say, you know, Harry Slatkin's knows at putting together a lot of blends is truly one of the best in the business. This just feels very generic, I would say. And again, I think that there's a time and a place for generic fragrances. You know, do I like this scent? Yeah, like I said, I like it. I'll continue to burn it, but it's just not something that I'm clamoring for backups for. And yeah, you can go on in store, you know, get your nose on it. The other thing that I will say is that the label is very basic. In fact, like I could probably peel this label off. So if you don't like it, you could probably just peel it off and have a very simple tumbler here with this kind of like sage colored wax. Now let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. This one actually has pretty decent flames, I would say. You know, you've got, they're not barn burners, but they are pretty healthy flames going on here. Nice deep wax pool as well. I have actually had this candle burning, oh goodness, probably about 4 hours now. I am going to extinguish it after I am done with this. Now, one of the things that I will say is that Yankee has supposedly changed their wax formula. This is a soy blend wax. Somebody had mentioned in one of my comments that they had contacted Yankee about this, and this still is like a soy paraffin blend, which you guys know my preference is typically 100% soy wax. I do think that it burns cleaner, cleaner ingredients. But, you know, I will say that for this specific candle, the wax pool is nice. And so far it is burning cleanly. But the thing that I will say that I think that there is a difference between 100% soy wax candles compared to some of these soy blends is that I do notice that I cannot burn them as long as my 100% soy candles because they do start to take on kind of a little bit of like a, well, for lack of a better word, kind of like a waxy smell. The fragrance just kind of tends to change. It starts to smell um, not sooty is not the right word. But I can just tell that the fragrance profile starts to change if you burn it for too long. So I will be extinguishing it after this burn. Now, strength and throw on this one, you guys. This is not as strong as another candle that I am going to review for you guys today, but I was actually pleasantly surprised that this one I had mentioned in Candle Chat. I have primarily been burning in my bedrooms in a hurricane, and it's performed well in that format, but this morning I was burning it out in my open concept living room, and I was actually pretty surprised and pleased with the fragrance out in my living room. I'm going to give this, you guys, probably about, I'm going to give this about a 6.5 in terms of the strength of this fragrance, and probably same about a 6.5, 7 in terms of throw. I can definitely smell it out in my open concept living room, but it doesn't throw all the way out here into the kitchen. I did burn it in an area of my living room that I have historically gotten really good performance from, strength and throw. It's over on my quilt rack. If I lift this up, you guys, if you're new to my channel, if you look back there on that quilt rack, you can see that's where I typically burn a lot of my candles, and they do project quite well from that location. So yeah, I would say that this one, I'm going to settle on 6.5 in terms of strength and throw. If you're burning this in a closed concept, I think that you're going to be pretty pleased with the performance of it. Also, if you pop it into a hurricane, you're going to get a little bit more oomph probably. But this does perform really well in my closed concept spaces. It definitely fills up, like I said, those rooms that have like 9-foot high ceilings, a little bit smaller rooms. It does fill up that space. But I was able to smell it the last few hours out in the living room. Again, it's not smacking me in the face, but it is noticeable. It's kind of there in the background. So this one might be a pleasant fragrance if you have, people who are maybe a little bit more fragrance sensitive coming into your home. This one would probably be a good scent to burn. So overall, you guys, I would give it like 1 thumb up. I feel like, especially if you can get it on sale, like a really, cheap price, yeah, go ahead and give it a try. I would probably recommend it in this 2-wick format more so than a 3-wick. I have already done a post-burn review on what candle was that? First Gift of Christmas, which is in a 3-wick. I'll have another 3-wick review coming up for you guys this week on Train Car Carols. But personally, you guys, I would say that if you're wanting to avoid some wick issues, maybe stick with this 2-wick tumbler format. So I don't know, you guys, let me know in the comment section down below if this one has you intrigued. Do you plan to purchase this one with any kind of holiday sales, or is it kind of just like, I could pass up on it? Fragrance comparison that I would give, I'm not really sure that this is exactly like any other fragrances that I have smelled before. I would say that if you like Bath and Body Works Vanilla Balsam, this is not the same fragrance, maybe like a distant cousin to that one. That's probably maybe like the closest comparison I would give in terms of tree scents. So anyways, you guys, please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do plan to upload a couple more reviews, you guys, today from the Polar Express collaboration. So if you're curious to see those and don't want to miss out, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Those should be up for you guys within a couple of hours. So again, thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.